What's up, Broncos country? I'm gonna wait till we get at least one viewer on here, but honestly, I I felt terrible for the last 2 days. My voice was hoarse, no pun intended. This time last week after a huge victory against the Packers. That wasn't a sickness. I was legitimately hoarse from being so stoked. I felt like I've been getting sick all week, though. As of Thursday, actually, not all week, but so my voice is terrible. The Broncos game was terrible. The officiating was terrible. Someone, Gene Steratore, Terry McCauley, I don't know, one of the broadcast previous officials that help out have to explain to me some of the calls from today's game. It honestly doesn't make any sense. I'm going to struggle through this video. I like going, making content regardless, win, lose, or draw, and which is crazy because actually I haven't made content during a loss in a year. And because at the beginning of the season, I was, I don't know, I was working on getting some content put together, getting my new office set up, which, I mean, DT, Derek Wolf, little canvas video, or excuse me, canvas picture. Looks good, but the Broncos did not look good today, and I'll tell you why. I think that they were drinking their own Kool-Aid. The overdogs, the comments about are we still, you know, whatever Garrett Bowles was saying after last game. They were drinking their own Kool-Aid. You don't want to drink Kool-Aid until February, particularly after the Super Bowl. The broadcast team, a couple of analysts, some influencers throughout Broncos country mentioned maybe the Broncos need to be punched in their mouth. And actually, I mean, I disagreed vehemently. I thought, hey, with this young of a team, you want to see them rest week 18, if at all possible. And it doesn't look like that's going to be possible. We're actually probably playing for the 1 seed, playing for the division, and a home playoff game in general. We clinched a playoff berth. We haven't clinched a division. So that being said, if push comes to shove and the Chargers win the division, we don't even have a home playoff game. So as unfortunate as those rules are, I've thought that for a while, that it makes more sense for the team with the better record to get the home field. It's just the reality of the situation. Division winners get the home field in the first round, division round. But truth be told, Denver was drinking its own Kool-Aid. Overdogs, all this stuff. You want to let the media, you want to let the fans, you want to let people like me start saying some shit like that. And I understand Bo Nix was like the whole locker room was obviously feeling a certain way. And we won a big game last week against Green Bay. And I mean, maybe it's justified to say some stuff like that, but when it comes to week to week, the NFL is week to week. This year more than ever is week to week. I think Denver started drinking some of its own Kool-Aid. What's up, Jesse Harris? How you doing? Are you a Broncos fan, Jesse? You like football, Jesse? Who's your favorite team? I'm a huge Denver Broncos fan myself, and I created this channel to create somewhat of a platform for Broncos country to get together and talk Denver Broncos football, hence the name Bronco Talk. I mean, I love to talk Denver Broncos football, and I'll talk with anybody about football in general, but being a Denver Broncos fan, I want to talk football, and I want to talk about the Denver Broncos. Bills or Broncos? Okay, okay. Josh Allen should have been a Denver Bronco as far as I'm concerned. How John Elway went and uh, and drafted every quarterback that possibly could have looked like him if you squinted your eyes hard enough, and didn't go for Josh Allen was beyond me. Broncos are the go. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think Tennessee put a butt whooping on Kansas City today. If we don't go into Kansas City on Christmas and win, we don't deserve the 1 seed. But I think we will. And that I look like your teacher. Well, I don't know about being a teacher. I'm more of a student of the game of football, student of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, student of people that have knowledge much more than me. I don't know about being a teacher, but that being said, I'm a diehard Denver Broncos fan that in all reality knew that maybe a loss would make sense for us, but if we don't go into Kansas City on Christmas night and beat them when Tennessee just took it to them, then I don't know if it makes more sense for Broncos country to really believe that the 1 seed should be ours. Now we'd take it. I'd take the 1 seed no matter how the playoff scenarios roll. If Baltimore beats New England tonight, we beat the Chargers, get the tiebreaker, the division, and then whatever the chips fall where they do, and we get the 1 seed. And it just so happens that we're playing home games throughout the playoffs and get the first week off. You're going to take it, but do you deserve it at that point when you had a stretch run like you did, and then Kansas City, who doesn't have Patrick Mahomes, who got mollywopped today by Tennessee? Do you deserve it? You want to see who you can name more Broncos players all time? Want to see? I mean, what? Go one for one? Like you name one, I name one. All right. Let's make. This is supposed to be about the Broncos game today, but John Elway. All right. Okay. John Elway. Bo Nix. Demaryius Thomas. Got to come quicker than that. Come on. I mean, you can look at the roster. You can get 53 men. You can get 90 from the team from before the season started. But I'm gonna go Derek Wolf. Uh, yeah, no shit, no shit. That's cool though. Thanks for entertaining me. Anyways, I mean Broncos when it came down to it, drank their own Kool-Aid. They were saying a whole bunch of raucous stuff last week. Now they got a slice of humble pie. And I mean, going into this game, your pregame prediction. If I didn't wake up sick as a dog, woke up sick yesterday, woke up sick as a dog today, would have been 27-17 Denver. And I'll tell you why. Because even drinking the Kool-Aid, I believe in Mile High. I believe in the magic. I believe that the offense is starting to get going. I mean, I'm not gonna back off of my original comment. If you were here, which you weren't, because no one was here when I made the comment, but if you were here at Jump Street when I said some rules analyst, some former referee, I mean, I know the game pretty good. I mean, I know the game very good. When I was younger, I'd be called Poindexter because we're playing down at the field, down at the middle school, and I'm over here calling. I mean, and you look into it, and those rules were legit. And I've known about the game of football inside and out for a long time. And I'd have to be explained 3 things to a legitimate argument. Malcolm Roach's roughing the passer. He did not drive his body weight onto Trevor Lawrence. I don't care if you're a Denver Broncos fan, a Jacksonville Jaguars fan, if you're a fan in the UK and just go to a game because the NFL's in London, or if you're a Raiders, I don't give two flips of a wooden nickel who you are. Malcolm Roach's roughing the passer was not a roughing the passer. Jahdae Barron's pass interference was not a pass interference. That was jostling. It was hand fighting that happens last week. I don't remember who it was. Grabbed Evan Ingram's arm, like legitimately was trying to like swing his arm, grabbed his arm, and there was no flag. But Jahdae Barron, just a little bit of hand fighting, and gets called for a pass interference, which is total baloney, bogus. And then the Pat Bryant, I know the game was over, but that is a hit on a defenseless receiver. It may not have been head or neck area, which it was pretty close. I'm not going to lie, but Pat Bryant was a defenseless receiver. He was landing from being airborne. He was defenseless. That's the whole spirit of the rule. He left on a stretcher. It was it was hard to watch if you watch the replay. So those three, there were some other penalties that I thought were questionable at the best, but and I never blame the refs, so I'm taking this one. I'm going to blame the referees. The referees, Vegas made the call. I don't care. Like us playing Los Angeles for the division on week 18 is going to be so much of a draw, and could be, I don't know, flex to Sunday night. I don't know the flex rules. They change year to year, it seems like. So but that would be such a draw. Bo Nix versus Justin Herbert, two Oregon quarterbacks playing in the AFC West. Sean Payton versus Jim Harbaugh. They beat us in what was it, week 2. Now we're here 16 weeks later. Week 3. The draw to that game was too much for the NFL to not try to tilt it in the Jaguars' favor. And I hate to say shit like that. I really do, because the Denver Broncos and being a competitor and watching the football games I've watched over the years and see them come back. And even a couple of years ago when we made a comeback against the Commanders that I think we eventually lost. But even still, I truly believe that this Denver Broncos football team just has Mile High Magic ingrained in their veins. It's just once you put on the uniform, it's just a part of it. So I hate to say it, but there were enough calls in this game to be critical of the officiating, to say that the fix was in. And if that hit on Pat Bryant wasn't a defenseless receiver, then I don't know what is. Okay. How you doing? I'm not going to say your name. What made you say damn? Anyways, I truly think that the NFL is a sport, and a lot of the things that happen in the NFL you can't explain. The athleticism, the different plays. I'll be dripping out in Broncos gear. I've been doing this thing for a long time. You're a Chiefs fan. I'm sorry to hear that. I honestly was just talking to somebody the other day about what I'm doing on Christmas. Gonna be watching the football game, and they're like, "Oh, don't the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes?" They didn't know football, and I was like, "Yeah, but he had a knee injury. He's gonna be out for a significant amount of time." It's sad because I respect greatness, so. And I like to beat the Chiefs at full. I like to beat any team at full strength. There were a lot of injuries in this game, in this Broncos Jaguars game. Delarian Turner Yell went down in his first game back from IR. He missed the whole season last year. But yeah, I am dripped out in Broncos gear. I try to stay dripped out. I got so many jerseys. I just started hanging them up. I'm like, I don't have much of like a backdrop for my channel, so I hung up the DT jersey, hung up the Derek Wolf jersey. I got a Von Miller jersey. I'm gonna try to get this right. I'm gonna try. So I stay dripped out. Yeah, absolutely. My glasses are orange and blue. I got some white ones that when we're away I wear them. I mean, it's that lifestyle. I mean, I always rep. Like I got 5280 tatted on me. I'm a Rockies fan. Can't really see it. It don't really matter. You don't want to hear about the Colorado Rockies, anyways. No one does. I don't even want to talk about them. Actually, I think they're making some great changes in the front office. That being said, Denver Broncos. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not trying to be nice. I'm just trying to be real. If it is nice, that's cool because I respect greatness. Um, maybe it's a little deep for this post game show, but Kobe passed away. I'm like, I'm glad I always respected greatness, even though I'm a Nuggets fan. Kobe used to rub our nose in it. Like, I mean, you just got to appreciate greatness. I despise LeBron James, but I appreciate his greatness. And that's talking two basketball players, but Pat Mahomes, whoever. Like, if you're going to be great, how can I hate that much? You know. So and like I don't want excuses. The last time the Broncos won a Super Bowl run, here's one that's not a it's not a post game commentary. We beat the New England Patriots on Sunday Night Football, and I was in. I'm no longer on social media. I'm on YouTube because I like to talk about the Denver Broncos and just like there's a lot of stuff that goes on in social media. I'm just not interested in. But what I do want to do is talk about the Denver Broncos. So I created this channel. But when I was on social media 10 years ago, when the Broncos were running to the Super Bowl and we played the Patriots go on Sunday Night Football in Denver with Brock Osweiler, all the Patriots fans were talk, and how Bill Belichick has never lost to a rookie, first year starting quarterback, yada yada yada. In his first two games, I mean there was some of that commentary. I can't remember exactly. And then we beat him, and then they talked about how Gerard Mayo and all these players were injured. I'm like, we had players injured too. Don't like make excuses. And so, although I fully expect us to beat the Chiefs on Christmas night, which I was when the schedule came out, was like expecting a tough game, not wanting to play the Chiefs on Christmas night because then Christmas is ruined if you go like you're going into Kansas City. Like if it was the other way around, Kansas City going into Denver, I would have when the schedule comes out, I would have felt a little bit better about that. We might win that game, or I think we would win the game either way, but would have felt more hopeful about that. But now that Patty Mahomes is out, I truly believe Denver wins that game, putting us against the Los Angeles Chargers week 18 for the division, for the number one seed, for all the marbles. And that'll be fun, but it would have been more fun to rest our starters. I think a young team, especially a team that went West Coast to London and back without a bye, first team ever to do that. What's up, everyone? Tough game. Yeah, absolutely. It was a tough game. I think I already said this, but I think that the refs had their part in this. I never blame the refs. I play recreational sports. I played organized sports. I watched the Denver Broncos since I was a baby. I got pictures. I always say that because it's true. I literally have I was like 6 months old, 4 months old, whatever, in Denver Broncos Snoopy gear. Like I have been a Denver Broncos fan, and I never blame the refs, no matter whether I'm playing, watching baseball, football, basketball, hockey, soccer, table tennis. I don't blame the refs. Today, I think the NFL wanted to see Denver host the Los Angeles Chargers for Week 18 for the division for the number one seed, and the officials played their part. I don't know, Christopher. I think you smelt it, you dealt it is the rule, ain't it? I don't know. I'm in my 30s. I don't know what the rules are anymore for these kids. I thought I would be a lot younger, a lot longer, but 34 now I'm like, all this bogus. So, hey, anybody want to talk about the game? Anybody want to talk about Jacksonville going into Denver, hanging an L on 5280 signs? Terrell Davis ain't walking through that door. John Elway ain't walking through that door. Ain't nobody. We won the Super Bowl since John Elway, since Terrell Davis. You know who was our running back when we won the Super Bowl 10 years ago? Do you? Undrafted guy from the Bay Area. And I'm a huge Bay Area fan. I like their music. Mac Dre. Huge fan of Mac Dre. C.J. Anderson. C.J. Anderson, he dancing, he gigging in the end zone. We don't need Terrell Davis. We don't need John Elway. Bo Nix, R.J. Harvey, especially if we get to the big game on some Terrell Owens stuff, some Terrell Owens shit. J.K. Dobbins coming back from a Liz Frank injury in the Super Bowl, just like, Terrell Owens was a broken leg. Screws and bolts and all sorts of stuff. But Terrell Owens coming into the, being out for 6, 8, 12 weeks, whatever, and coming back to play in the Super Bowl. J.K. Dobbins. But the Broncos ain't going to be like the Eagles on the losing side of that effort. Quarterback puking on the sidelines, crying like a little baby. Bo Nix is just fine. Bo Nix, R.J. Harvey, J.K. Dobbins, assuming we get that opportunity. Cortland Sutton. I think a run to the chip, we don't need a Terrell Davis or John Elway. And a lot of analysts don't feel that way. I think everybody on NFL Network this morning on game day morning said that Bo Nix can carry this team to a Super Bowl. So you can talk your talk. We don't need John Elway or Terrell Davis. That being said, Broncos country, I'm gonna leave you with this. Last week I left you with my parting shot, my mile high salute, if you will. Last week, Sean Payton's end of game management, I called into question. I said it could cost. It's not gonna. If it affects a regular season game, then that would suck. But it would really suck if it cost us a playoff game, and it could. My mile high salute, my parting shot, my way out, my exit. The Broncos drank their own Kool-Aid. They got too wrapped up in what the media is saying about them. They got too wrapped up in what people are thinking about them. And Jacksonville, who wore that badge of honor as a team that's not being talked about, as a team that's underhyped or underappreciated or whatever. The Denver Broncos, like if you're a Broncos fan, you know our normal motto. And the script got flipped on us. We lost because we drank our Kool-Aid and let a team that was good, not the better team. We're the better team. It just is what it is. Trevor Lawrence coming out of Clemson, I understood the hype, but I didn't believe the hype. I thought he was good. But we got punched in the mouth. We lost our game. We have to go 2-1 down the stretch. Now we have to go 2-0 down the stretch. We control our own destiny, don't get me wrong. It would have been nice if that won. Or if we went 3-0 is what I was hoping. But if that one was resting our starters week 18. But that one was today. We have to win out. We went out. We still control our own destiny. New England could win tonight. We're still the number 1 seed. It's not as the sky isn't falling. The house isn't burning. The door's not getting kicked in. We lost a game that we should have won. We lost to a team that we should have beat. I truly 1,000% am throwing my name in the hat as person that believes that the refs cost us this game in multiple ways because big moments there were flags thrown on bullshit calls. Thank you. I don't know why you'd say that. I mean, I'm better looking. I don't have horse teeth, and but I don't have as much money. That being said, Denver drank its own Kool-Aid, and they got punched in the mouth. Now it's time to go 4 days from now to Kansas City, handle our business, and see what Week 18 has in store for us. Broncos country, if you're in the chat, do me a huge favor, like this video. If you haven't already, sub to the channel. I am this close. I wasn't even going to talk about this. I'm this close to 100 subscribers. Before I even jumped back on here, started making content more frequently, I was like, man, will I ever get to 50 subs? Because you have to get to 50 subs to start going live. I got to 50 subs a few weeks ago. Now I'm this close to 100. I do want to talk Broncos football. I do want to pursue talking Broncos football more regularly. So do me a huge favor. Sub to the channel. And as always, go Broncos.